전국 곳곳에 희망을 짓는 사람들이 있습니다. 테레웨 도서관을 연 총장님부터 숲길 끝에 펼쳐지는 도서놀이터, 바닷마을을 달리는 도서관까지 이들과 함께 희망을 펼치는 KB 작은 도서관. 희망을 키우는 국민 모두가 희망부자입니다. KB 금융그룹.
On day one, some of Korea Republic's brightest stars came out to shine on home ice. Kim Gil-lee and Park Ji-won both earning gold medals to bolster their respective cases for the men's and women's Crystal Globes. But their closest rivals also put up podium results, and the battle to be short track speed skating's best rages on. Day two in Seoul is about to get underway. Hello everyone, Gavin Day here to guide you through the morning repechage session from Seoul, the Mokdong ice rink. It was a long night last night, but plenty of action to be sure. We saw the mixed relays, the Dutch coming out on top where they had to redo virtually the entire race after getting down to the final turn. In the end, the Dutch winning, Italy getting second, and both the US and Korea, who were penalized, shared the bronze. There were plenty of Canadians picking up the podium on the men's side. Kim Gil-lee getting atop the podium as well, and Hannah de Smet, another one for Belgium for a gold medal. Expecting more of that today, but first we have to make sure who is in the afternoon World Cup session, and that is what the repechage session is all about this afternoon. So first up, we will have 500-meter races. There will also be the second 1,500 meters. And then we will also have some more relay action with the B finals for the men's and women's relays. First heat of the women's 500 coming up in just a few moments. And you see the first skaters coming out onto the ice on the far side entrance there. And so we will go through how it runs really quickly. Women's 500 meters, there are 4 heats in the repechage quarterfinals. The top 2 from each race and up to the 2 fastest third place skaters will qualify for the repechage semifinals. You saw the start list. There is Gabriela Topolska of Poland. That's a look at Alia Amirgalieva of Kazakhstan. And then 2 Japanese skaters, Mire Nakashima and Rina Yamana. There is Topolska, a 22-year-old. She is from Białystok, which is northeast of Warsaw. You're getting closer to the Belarus border, where she's from. A couple skaters are from Białystok. Something of a Polish short track hotbed.
Go to the south.
So they are in these repechage races after Friday's qualifiers. They didn't advance directly into the quarterfinals, so they have to do up to 2 more races if they want to get into the medal rounds this afternoon. And it is Topolska off the front. Amir Galieva, the 25-year-old from Kazakhstan, making a move up the inside to get into first place. And it's really those 2 right now. And at the moment, Nakashima is in third, and she jumps right up into the lead. I was just going to say Yamana not really keeping contact, but she's closing up for third. But right now it's 2 in front. It is Nakashima, I believe, and Amir Galieva going 1-2. There is a yellow card in the corner indicating that something will be under video review. Let's move from Nakashima to put that burst of speed to launch yourself quickly from third up to first. When we get this angle, usually that means the official results are about to come up. Any race in short track will always have the unofficial caveat next to it. as incidents and situations get reviewed. And there you have it. Mire Nakashima first, Aliyah Amirgalieva in second, and Gabriela Topolska will now have to wait to see if her time in third will advance her to the repechage semifinals. Second heat, there you have it. Hana Takahashi from Japan, Yelyazeva Sidorko of Ukraine, Thanuchaya Chataisong of Thailand, and Hedvig Hilde of Norway. The 22-year-old Hilde from Oslo. Only took up short track when she was 19, originally from the speed skating background, but suffered an injury, and that's when she tried short track, liked it, and here she is.
Go to the start.
Norway you usually expect to see in the traditional speed skating and in the long distance version in particular. But Hilda trying to start something of a Norwegian program here, but right now at the front it is Sidorko, the 19-year-old. Her best World Cup finish in the 500 is a 15th. That was last year. And it is Hana Takahashi taking a look now, but sneaking up the inside. Chataisong can't hold it, but it is still Sidorko in front at the bell. Sidorko of Ukraine in front, and it's Chataisong and Takahashi battling for second. Big change over there. That will certainly get a review, and Sidorko falls at the line. I think she's okay. And I think Hilda, did she sneak over for second? That's certainly gonna take up a little bit of the officials' time there. What is being investigated is potentially Takahashi on Chataisong, and sure enough, Sidorko fell, and Hilda did a little bit of a Bradbury there, waiting until everyone disappeared in front of her and snuck through into second place. So we'll see what our officials do to sort through that one. Here's the incident with Sidorko in front. Takahashi tries coming up the middle, and Chataisong goes right into her, and whoops! Skaters are already on the ice. It is fast ice in Seoul, but it is also particularly cold in that building. There you have it. Takahashi is advanced. Chataisong, I think it'll be a lane change from outer to inner, getting penalized. And Hilda also advancing as the second place finisher. Outside skater not giving space in the end right there. That threw off Takahashi, so Takahashi will get advanced. Hilda will move on. And Sidorko, despite tripping at the finish line, will also move on. There's Heat 3, Esther Toth of Hungary, Ksenia Adamenko of Ukraine, Youngbi Jung of Germany, Lam Ching Yen of Hong Kong. And in the end,
Go to the
two
start.
skaters. And so two skaters scratching to start this one off. There is no Adamenko and no Jung. And so it is Esther Toth and Lam Ching Yan. And when it's the top two moving on, Well, these are the two that are going to move on, and so you don't want to do anything untowards, just essentially get over the finish line. And Esther Toth, who in the run-up to Beijing in 2022 broke her ankle preparing for the Olympics, and then during recovery broke the same one again. And so it's nice to see her back at full steam. Of course, still a few more years out from the next Olympics, so she has a chance to build everything back up heading into the next Olympics in Italy. And over the line, Esther Toth wins that one, and Lam Qingyan second in the race of two. We will see both of them in the repechage semifinals coming up just a little bit. Still one more heat to go, so those two third-place times currently good enough to move on, as there was no third-place time to speak of from that heat. And we'll see what happens with the next one. Tongue firmly in cheek here, but I don't think anything will get reviewed from that race, as they both make their way off, and we'll get to regroup for the repechage semi. There you have it. Did not start from Youngbi Jung and Ksenia Adamenko. The two who did race do move on. Heat number 4 has Tineke Dendulk of Belgium, Barbara Samogi of Hungary, Malika Yermek of Kazakhstan, and Miroslava Selyukova of Ukraine. Here is Selyukova. Ukraine was at the stops in Montreal, but haven't seen much of them since then.
Go to the south.
And out of position 1, it's Tineke Dendulk, the 26-year-old from Belgium. Originally born in Leeuwarden in the Netherlands, but now lives in Hasselt in Belgium, but it is right near their border with the Netherlands, a Flemish part of Belgium. Somogi, despite being just 21 years old for Hungary, she's been a veteran of the World Cup season, World Cup circuit. She's been around for a number of years now. And it's those two out in front right now. Dendulk, always an automatic selection for Belgium's mixed relay team, as it's usually just her and Hanne de Smet, the only women entered for Belgium. Look out, here comes 20-year-old Malika Yermek trying to make a move, but not going to do it. And it's Dendulk, Samogi, and Yermek. Another race largely without incident, so I don't think anything got reviewed there. I did not see any yellow cards. And so that means we just get to zip right along into the men's 500 meters. Few more heats here. There's confirmation of the results, and Yermek's time fast enough for a third place to move on. Dendulk, Samogi, and Yermek we'll all see again this morning in Seoul for the repechage semi-final. Here's a look at the first heat of the repechage quarterfinals for men's 500 meters. Ole Hande of Ukraine, Rostislav Leontenko of Ukraine, Adrian Dowagtere of Belgium, and Lin Chun-Chie of Chinese Taipei.
Go to the top. Ready.
Everyone's safely away, not so much. That will cause a restart. Everyone diving into that first corner in a 500 meters. And when not everybody gets through, it usually results in things getting restarted. And there's the bump, there's the fall. Down goes Ole Hyundai, the 24-year-old from Kiev. He has a 10th in a 500 meters at the 2022 World Championships held in Montreal. No medals on the World Cup circuit. There is De Wagtura. Saw him yesterday competing in a relay. And as always, whenever there's an incident, they'll check the blades, make sure there's no chips or scratches or anything that impacts the sliding surface. Then Chun-Che there of Chinese Taipei got a start in roller speed skating. 24 years old. His best result in a 500 meters, a 25th.
Go to the car. Right.
Everyone diving to the corner. This time they all get through. It's three skaters all across the track right now, but it's De Wagtura in front ahead of Hyundai and Lin. Leontenko trying to close the gap. He lost a little bit off the line and he's right back up there. Now trying to make a move for third on Lin. Nothing doing, but De Wagtura well out in front, staying above the fray. Couple laps to go. When you're on your own, less chance of an incident. He comes to get the bell first of all, and right now it is Hyundai in second. Large gaps on the track. I don't think anybody's going to be able to close that down in the final few meters. And De Wagtura, Hyundai 1 and 2, and Lin Chun-Che of Chinese Taipei crosses for third. And he will now wait and see. 7 heats in the men's repechage quarterfinal. First place skater from each and up to 3 of the fastest second place skaters qualify for the semifinals. And so only De Wagtura knows he's through. Hyundai will have to wait and see. Results. De Wagtura, the only automatic qualifier, and then Hyundai will now have to wait and see how his time holds up, and the other two will not advance. Heat 2 has 5 skaters. Andrew Hyo of the United States, Danilo Fedorenko of Ukraine, Enzo Proust of Belgium, Shinky Connect of the Netherlands, and Shomu Sasaki of Japan. And look who's back, Shinky Connect. He was an alternate for the Dutch team for a few of the first World Cups and making his return this weekend, the 34-year-old.
Go to the car.
2-time Olympic medalist.
Ready.
Connects. Bronze medal in 2014 in the 1,000. Was the Netherlands' first ever in short track, and now the country widely seen as a long track speed skating powerhouse are building something of a short track program, but he's not really in this one right now. It's Andrew Hyo, the 22-year-old from Philadelphia, moved to Utah, which is where the U.S. training center really is for short and the traditional speed skating. There is the bell for Hyo, twice a 4 continents bronze medalist, once a silver, once a bronze 4 continents medalist in the 500. And it will be Hyo in front. Fedorenko, the 21-year-old, coming in second. Now waiting to see if he will move on. But there's Hyo, really comfortable, just about wire to wire on that one, taking his repechage quarterfinal. And there you have it, Hyo and Fedorenko. Hyo, the automatic qualifier. Fedorenko will now sit and wait to see if he moves on with still a number of heats to go. 5 in all. Third heat, Mircea Zaksabayev of Kazakhstan, Jonathan Moody of Great Britain, Nico Enderman of Austria, Kwok Che Fong of Hong Kong, China, and Lucas McDonald of New Zealand. Here's a look at Enderman. 8th in the 1500 meters yesterday, making the A final. Nice little, you don't often see skaters from Austria in those A finals, so good for that program to get someone into the big medal race. And Zaksabayev, the 26-year-old.
Go to the start. Right.
And the lunge in the corner. Everyone is through. It's Zaksabayev out of position 1. Moody out of position 2. Going 1 and 2 right now, but it's Zaksabayev with a gap in front, just putting on the jets early. 2.5 laps to go. We'll see who can close up on it. At the moment, Anderman is trying to lead the chase, but Zaksabayev built up a big lead early, and he is not relinquishing much of it right now. 1 to go. Zaksabayev on course to move into the repechage semifinal. Anderman trying to get up for second. There's McDonald trying to get in for third. We're at the line. It's Zaksabayev and Anderman just ahead of Lucas McDonald. Pole to pole, wire to wire win for Zaksabayev there. The results, Centerman will await the rest of the races now as well. It's Zaksabayev impressive there, just getting out to an early lead. And he never let it disappear. Heat number 4, Mattia Antonioli of Italy, Triphop Thongnang of Thailand, Cheng Yuchuan of Chinese Taipei, Lucas Wareham of Australia, and Maxim Maximov, the 17-year-old from Bulgaria. Triphop Thongnam. There's Maximov, that Bulgarian program under the tutelage of the great Evgenia Radinova. A Bulgarian great, multiple-time Olympic medalist. They get whistled to the line. You'll note the different lines on that side, and they change up the start lines just so
Go to the start.
they don't get all chewed up.
Right.
So to maintain that 500-meter distance, the pucks are moved around a little bit on different, I guess, angles or placements on the track, so that all that ice just doesn't get chewed up at all. Right now it's Thongnam from Thailand in front, Cheng from Chinese Taipei in second, and Antonioli in third. Nice race from Thongnam so far with a bit of gap and just 2 laps to go. Antonioli trying to close things down. Remember, only position 1 gets the automatic berth into the repechage semifinal. Antonioli running out of ice. Thongnam in front. Good win for Thailand if he can hang on. Antonioli's going to make it close, but not able to do it. And so, looks like Trip Hop Thongnam of Thailand likes that one, moving into the repechage semifinals. And when everyone thinks of Thailand, they think of beaches, sun, and warmth. And so I would love to see how that Thai program is building something there. I'd love to see how they work as they develop that program against what you would think about maybe more traditional winter sports nations. But short track, if there is a sport that can be truly international, it's this one. Good win for Thongnam and Antonioli with that 42.184 made to weight. Next heat. Heat number 5 has another Bulgarian skater, Ivan Dunchev. Germany's Jonas Hammermuller. 2 skaters from Singapore, Brandon Pock and Ong Rio. And then Stan de Smet of Belgium. It's a name we've seen plenty of this weekend. De Smet, there is Hammermuller.
Go to the start. Right.
Pock from Singapore, just 17 years old. Saw a demonstration of skating at a mall in Singapore, and his sister decided she wanted to do it, and he went along as well. And there's an incident that looks like Hammermuller just thrown completely off speed. Not seeing anything about a review. It's de Smet, as you might expect, in front. Dunchev just trying to keep pace with him, staying as close as he can for as long as he can, because you know that second place time is what would matter to him. De Smet quickly dispatching of his competitors here, and cool as you like it, Stan de Smet into the repechage semifinal. The 1500 meter expert potentially moving on here in the 500. Pretty much from position 5, de Smet made up quite a bit of room into the stretch. I think, yeah, Hammermuller just lost it on his own there, rounding the turn. Whoop. And then that kills all your speed. And de Smet just goes from strength to strength. Didn't look particularly troubled. And we can plan on seeing him again shortly. Confirmation, Dunchev's time not good enough to move into the repechage semi-final. So just one skater moving on. Brandon Pock from third, the 17-year-old from Singapore. Heat number 6 has some pretty heavy hitters here. Quentin Vercock, 2 World Cup medals so far this season in the 500. Lucas Henry Koo, the American-born skater from Brazil. Let's look at Maxime Laoun, the Canadian veteran, 27 years old. There is Vercock, the man from Normandy. Koo, 17 years old, has qualified and will compete at the Youth Olympic Games early next year in this very part of the world. In fact, a lot of the same venues for the 2018 Olympics will be used for that Youth Olympic Games.
Right.
And it is the youngster out in front of the veteran Vercock early. See how long he can make this last. He's actually from Rochester, New York, is Koo, but has that familial connection, and quickly Vercock gets it right back. Laoun now trying to make a move up into second place. Vercock a bronze and a silver in 500-meter World Cups this season. They are France's first individual medals in about 3 years. Still Vercock, Laoun challenging him. And the 24-year-old Vercock will take this one. Laoun second, and a good race from young Koo, finishing in third. He's hoping that Youth Olympic Games appearance next year will launch him closer to a dream of competing in 2026. And Vercock looking for his third medal of the season. On course so far into the repechage semifinal. And Laoun's time not good enough, and so Quentin Vercock, the only qualifier from this heat, will move into the repechage semifinal. Still one more heat to go. Here's the start list. 2 skaters from Japan, Yui Matsubayashi, Takumi Wada, Asen Gyurov of Bulgaria, Martin Kolenc of Croatia, and Radek Fajkus of the Czech Republic. Look at Gyurov. Bulgaria developing a lot of young talent. There is Kolenc. He's had 3 operations back in 2018 after a tumor was discovered in his knee. Nice to see the man from Zagreb back on the world circuit. A long, long dash to the line as they use that far start line. And quickly, I believe it's Wada off the line first. Kolenc in second, Fajkus in third. But Wada bursting out off the start line from position 2 to be the first into the corner. He's seeing his lead disappear a little bit as Kolenc tries to close it down. Going wide around that turn, though. That allows Radek Fajkus to get up into second. Wada hanging on at the bell. The 20-year-old from Osaka trying to stave off the man from the Czech Republic. And he is able to do it. Takumi Wada looking like he will move on. I don't think anything will be getting reviewed. And he can dream of another race. One more race to get into the medal rounds this afternoon in the World Cup portion of the program. A lot of it was won for Wada off that start, blistering compared to his opponents. Fajkus tried to close it up, not able to do it though. I'm not sure if his second place time will hold up. We'll await the official results. It is indeed enough, and so chasing down Wada helps Radek Fajkus move into the repechage semifinal. And so that is the end of the 500-meter repechage quarterfinal. And next up, number 2 of the 1,500 meters. You saw number 1 yesterday. And so the men have repechage quarterfinals. The women do not. They will go right on to the repechage semifinals. And so 5 races in the 1,500. You saw the start list: Tobias Wolf of Austria, Mateusz Mikolayuk of Poland, Su Junpeng of Chinese Taipei, Clemens Proper of Germany, and Pietro Marinelli of Italy. Seen one Thai skater moving on to the repechage semifinal. Takram would like to make it another one in the 1500 meter repechage, but always these races a chess game off the start. Pardon me, it seems there was a couple changes there. There is Kumurjev of Bulgaria in the race. And it's Davideos Kemper of Italy. And there's Marcus Howard of the United States. And so, apologies for that. And right now, it is Kumurjev, Stefan Alexander Kumurjev of Bulgaria out in front. Kumurjev, 18-year-old, another just one of those young Bulgarian athletes. That team trying to build up a core of younger talent together, the likes of Maximov and Kumurjev there. There's Takram in second. In this quarterfinal repechage, the first and second place skaters from each heat, and as many as 4 of the third fastest skaters will qualify. And they always say as many as, because when a skater is advanced who did not finish in the top 2, that kind of knocks out one of the third fastest times. And it is Davideos Kemper in front right now. Marcus Howard, the American, up into second, and those two are starting to build on their lead. Those two look to be the automatic qualifiers at the moment. At the bell, it is Howard, the 20-year-old from the United States. All of his World Cup medals come in the relay, in the mixed relay, pardon me. But he will move on as the winner of that one in the end. Davideos Kemper looking to be in second place. Confirmation, Howard, Kemper 1 and 2, Kumurjev as one of the third fastest times. Second heat, War Van Dam of Belgium, Zdenek Sejpal of the Czech Republic, Liam O'Brien of Ireland, Su Jun Peng of Chinese Taipei, Wesley Park of the United States, and Luca Speckenhauser. There is a look at War Van Dam.
Go to the start. Right.
Well, Van Dam out of position 1 there. He will turn 21 in less than a month. Like a lot of skaters, he has a background in roller speed skating. He has represented Belgium in some international competitions at the junior level. In second right now. Speckenhauser back there, the Azuri kit. He is from Bormio in northern Italy. Closer to the the border with Liechtenstein and Germany there. Sue, the 25-year-old. His best result on World Cup is a couple of 34th places. More than them right there is Zdeněk Sejbal of the Czech Republic right behind him. Picking up a little bit here. Still Sue in front. Van Dam in second. Watching him closely. Wesley Park, the 20-year-old American, sitting at the back now as Van Dam tries to make a move on the outside. Sejpal on the inside. And now they go 1-2 at the expense of Sue. Speckenhauser now jumps up into third, eyeing a spot in second. He tries his luck around the outside. Can't make it stick the first time, but is able to do it the second time. Now eyeing first place. Look out, here comes Liam O'Brien as well. And the Irish skater, there's a bump there. That will certainly get another look as Van Dam and O'Brien, both, all their speed is just about gone. And it's Speckenhauser and Park, 1 and 2 right now. Sejpal in third. There will be 2 video reviews after this race, so unofficial results emphasized in this case. Speckenhauser and Park crossing the line 1 and 2 provisionally anyway, and we shall see what the final rulings are. First is Anwar Van Dam. Potentially an arm block, it says. And the other incident involves O'Brien on Van Dam. So we shall see what they come up with. Not sure if that was maybe the possible arm block they're looking at. And then there's the other incident. I think Speckenhauser stayed out of trouble and should feel rather confident that nothing is going to happen to him. But you never know. This is, in fact, incident number 1. It was when Van Dam went to the front. And here's the other option, the other possibility. Interesting. I am glad I am not an official once again. Liam O'Brien, who lives in Korea, born in Australia. His sister represented Australia in figure skating. But if I do have to say, Liam O'Brien is a pretty Irish name, so I could imagine that there is a familial connection, and that's how he competes for Ireland and lives in Korea. Still awaiting the final word. heat already out on the ice. It's cold out there. We've seen a lot of skaters putting on jackets during delays, trying to keep warm. I think it's really the first time we've seen that this season. Is Jang Sun-woo. Not the biggest crowd. It'll file in likely for the World Cup portion of the day, and so hometown crowd might be minimal for Jang. Still waiting. And that would explain the changes. Originally, there were 5 repechage quarterfinal heats for the men. It's actually down to 4. So they did some consolidating and some moving around as athletes determined their own competition schedules. Still waiting. War Van Dam, Lee and O'Brien. Still 2 yellow cards sitting in the corner of your screen. They're potentially looking at one of the incidents as potentially a shared responsibility, which means no discipline would be taken. Take a look at the next heat, shall we? It has Tobias Wolf of Austria, 2 Polish skaters, Mateusz Mikolayuk and Paweł Adamski. Robin Bendig of Germany, Jang Sun-woo, you've seen him, of Korea, and Peter Riches of Great Britain. And there you have it, War Van Dam penalized. Su Junpeng of Chinese Taipei advanced. And so this was indeed, there was no penalty for O'Brien. That's for the second incident. That's where the penalization happened for the arm block by Van Dam. And this is, I believe, the shared responsibility incident. And that is why I think they got the graphics confused there. The first one is where Su of Chinese Taipei was advanced, and the second was a shared responsibility incident. There you have the third heat. Wolf, Mikolayuk, Adamski, Bendig, Jang, and Riches.
Go to the front.
Always the funny dichotomy between everyone dashing into the line of the 500 and almost a walking pace into the first corner in the 15. Jang Sun-woo, 21 years old, one of the younger skaters in the men's program for Korea, but he's been on a couple of their relay teams this year. The men's relay team picking up a few silver medals. He also has a bronze in the 1,000 in the individual from Beijing, so he's young, but he's wearing that red, white, blue, and black kit of Korea, and so there is a certain level of expectation from one of the elite programs in the sport. Right now it's Riches on the front. And now it is Jang deciding enough games. Let's pick up the pace. Riches keeping pace. Wolf sitting in third. Took a bit of a look at second. On the outside, opted not to. Bendig now going up the middle, slotting into third. They're all queuing up behind Jang-Sun Woo right now. Inside 6 laps to go as the tempo ratchets up once again. Jang inviting them, try and pass me. Nobody's been able to just yet. He's looking very cool, very composed right now. Inside 4 laps to go, Rich is in second. Both the Polish skaters at the back, they're struggling to keep touch a little bit. And Jang now has a bit of an advantage. Riches, Wolf, and Bendig looking like it's a battle for second. As they're going to come up to hear the bell this time round. Still Jang, a bit of a gap. Wolf trying to make a move around Riches, nothing doing there. Trying to take another look, but still very, very composed. Young Jang-Sun Woo, Riches second, and Tobias Wolf of Austria in third. And once Jang decided to control the race, nobody was able to wrestle that away from him, and in the end, that's one race down. But when you're in the repechage in the 1500 and you have to go through 2 of them just to get back into the medal rounds, you're certainly going to be feeling that a little more. They get into the semifinals. Jang-Sun Woo 1, Peter Riches 2, both qualifying. Tobias Wolf will now sit and wait for the 4th heat in the men's 1500 meter repechage quarterfinal. No reviews needed there. Here's heat 4. Tsai Chiao-wei of Chinese Taipei, Joshua Ka of New Zealand, Dan Iwasa of Japan, Timofey Kokelko of Ukraine, Yaroslav Morozov of Ukraine, and Pietro Marinelli of Italy. Marinelli, another one of the skaters from Bormio, a winter sports hub, a great skiing destination.
Go to the start. Right.
And off they go. One of the more urgent starts in the 1500 maybe we've seen. Not that it's saying much of anything. That's Tsai of Chinese Taipei out in front right now, 23 years old, from Tainan on the island. Best individual result last season was a 32nd place in a 1500 meters in Salt Lake City. He was being followed by Kokelko of Ukraine. 18-year-old from the Ukrainian capital. He now decides he wants to move into the front. And now everything's changing now. Marinelli opts to go. Iwasa is sitting in third right now. Would not be surprised if he starts to make a move. Iwasa we often see skating as a member of the men's or mixed relay teams or both. He's often an entrant on the Japanese roster. Still Marinelli in front. front for the first time. The Australian-born athlete, former gymnast, actually. Originally competed at the youth levels for Australia, changing things up. Now he carries the fern on his back. As Marinelli and Iwasa, good battle for second behind Ka. Iwasa changing tactics, going outside to inside to get into second. It's really those front four right now. The two Ukrainian skaters not really able to keep touch as Iwasa goes to the front. Marinelli trying to follow through into second. And there's the bell. Iwasa building up a bit of a gap as Tsai goes up into third at the expense of Marinelli, trying to get up into second, but it's going to be Iwasa taking this one, a dash for second, and it's Tsai taking it ahead of Ka. He lost his balance, spun around. I don't think he fell. We will see if that will also get a review. Late move by Tsai getting up there. And I think he got the foot out at the line as Ka spun around a little bit. There's when Ka went to the front. Hung on for a good little while anyway. Iwasa should be secured there. Doesn't look like anything is under investigation. There is the bump, so I think Tsai got up for second. And I don't think there will be any supplementary discipline from that. There you have it, but Ka is able to qualify anyways as one of the third fastest skaters. So Iwasa, Tsai, and Ka all moving on to the repechage semifinal. And that means it's time for an ice resurfacing, which means we get to take a bit of a break. So wherever you may be in the world, enjoy whatever meal that it's the time of day for. In Asia, it could be a breakfast. In North America, it could be a late or early dinner, depending on which coast you're on. And we'll wait to see what time we are back up. That should come up in just a second. Start your watches. You have about 18 minutes. Talk to you in a bit. The gate is open on the other side. That means competition is about ready to resume, and that is repechage semifinal time, starting with the women's 500 meters. First heat skaters on the ice. There are 2 heats. Only the winner will advance to the quarterfinals taking place this afternoon. Heat 1 has Tineke Dendulk of Belgium, Yelizaveta Sidorko of Ukraine, Barbara Somogi of Hungary, Malika Yermak of Kazakhstan, and Hedvig Hilde of Norway. Four and a half laps, 1 place for the medal rounds this afternoon.
Go to the start.
Everybody safely into the corner, and it is Dendulk in front, and Yelizaveta Sidorko of Ukraine in second right now, battling for 1-2. Hilda of Norway off the back. She is coming back from a knee injury this season. She is struggling to keep up, but she did, as you remember, sneak in through when there was some contact in front of her. It is really a battle for 4 skaters right now. Sidorko back into second. Dendulk leading the way. Dendulk still in control. Nobody really seems to have enough to pass her right now. And Dendulk is going to take it to the line. Yermak and Somogi go down. So Hilda gets up to third. That will get a review, but I don't think anyone was challenging that woman in this race. Tineke Dendulk of Belgium looking odds-on to be in the quarterfinals this afternoon. Yelizaveta Sidorko jumped out first, and there it is right at the end. And it was actually Sidorko who went down with Yermak, but I don't think either of them were really going to challenge Dendulk. And there could be an advancement I'm seeing. Would be the punishment, I believe, would be on Yermak. I believe it would mean Sidorko could advance this afternoon, but we'll just wait for the official ruling. That's just what they're investigating. And there is the case. Yelizaveta Sidorko does get advanced. Tineke Dendulk qualifies for the quarterfinal. Second heat. There you have it right there. 2 skaters from Japan. Mire Nakashima, Hana Takahashi. And Kazakhstan's Aliya Amir Galieva. Esther Toth of Hungary. And Lam Ching Yen of Hong Kong.
Go to the start.
Just the winner moving on. And out of position 1, using it to her advantage, it is Nakashima, the 20-year-old from Japan, taking an early lead. Esther Toth of Hungary right behind her. The ankles look just fine for Esther Toth. And it is still Nakashima Toth, really 1-2 at the bell. Then there's a gap to Amir Galieva. I'm not sure there's enough room for them to close up, so it's going to be Nakashima or Toth. There is a video review coming up. It's been cleared. And at the line, I think Nakashima hangs on. Toth made it interesting. but I don't think she made it in time. So I believe Nakashima is the second skater into the quarterfinals from the afternoon or the morning repechage here at the Mukdok Ice Rink. That's probably where the review came up there. And still comfortably enough through. And the results. Indeed, Mirai Nakashima, the only one moving on to the quarterfinals this afternoon. And just like that, repechage semifinals for the women's side are done. That means 2 heats in the men's repechage semifinal. There's the start list for number 1, Takumi Wada, Danilo Fedorenko, Nico Anderman, Quentin Vercoq, and Stan de Smet. Interesting battle there, potentially, between de Smet and Vercoq. Don't want to count out the other skaters as well, but just one spot awaits the winner for the quarterfinals here in Seoul.
Go to the start.
Everybody into the corner, and just like he did in his quarterfinals, it's Wada bursting out of the gate. It worked last time. De Smet trying to close it down. Wada flying off the start. Quentin Vercoq, twice on the podium this year, in danger of not making the quarterfinals. He has some work to do. He gets around Fedorenko into third. There is a lap and a half to go. Now De Smet right up onto Wada. Now De Smet goes into the lead. Vercoq closing up into third. Vercoq trying to go around the outside, not seeing the opening there, and it's going to be De Smet winning this one. Wada makes it for second, I believe, ahead of Vercoq, and then there was a crash in behind. So Wada setting the pace. It's a tactic that worked in the last round. Not able to hold off De Smet this time, though. And there you have it. Stan de Smet. Wada second, Vercoq third, Fedorenko and Anderman fourth and fifth. Second heat has 5 skaters. Radek Fajkus of the Czech Republic, Mercedes Zaksabayev of Kazakhstan, Andrew Hio of the United States, Adrian Dewactor of Belgium, and Tripop Thongam of Thailand. Unlike the last heat, there are names that have been on the podium this season that really jump out at you. 500 could always be anyone's race as well, as the racers get called to the line.
Go to the start. Ready.
Job 1 is done. Everyone through that first corner. And it's Fajkus out of position 1 in the lead. Zaksabayev in second. Dewactor in third. Thongam up into fourth, getting ahead of Hio. And it's Zaksabayev trying to move up the inside. They go way wide. And Dewactor is the beneficiary there, as is Andrew Hio. So There is the bell, and Duagdra trying to make it two Belgian skaters right into the quarterfinal. Keogh has different ideas, but I think it is going to be Duagdra hanging on. Late surge, not going to do it. Adrian Duagdra wins quarterfinal number 2. They will review that earlier incident. We'll see if it does merit possibly an advancement. It is between Zaksabayev on Ficus. Just went right out wide, and Duagdra said, "I'll take that, thank you very much," and he never looked back. There you have it, and Ficus is advanced. Zaksabayev is penalized. And so Duagdra and Ficus there out of heat number 2. And that the next time we'll see 500s is this afternoon for the World Cup session. But the repechages continue. Semifinals for the 1500 meters. And there were no quarterfinals for the women, but there are semifinals in the repechage. 2 heats, just the winners. Moving on to the semifinals this afternoon. The ruling was an illegal late pass there, going right into the corner. Ficus had nowhere to go. And on the line for Heat 1 of the women's 1500 meters, Medina Zanbusanova of Kazakhstan, Uliana Dubrova of Ukraine, Yara Van Kerkhoff of the Netherlands, Kim Hyo-jin of Australia, Ada Majewska of Poland, and Lisa Eckstein of Germany.
Go to the start.
And everyone dashes into the first corner. And it is Yara Van Kerkhoff, almost reluctantly, the Dutch veteran. This may be the slowest 1500 I have seen. Going into the first corner, the 33-year-old Olympic medalist, taking an early lead, almost against her will, it seemed, but now it is Uliana Dubrova who goes to the front. Anna Majewska of Poland, just out of the junior ranks, instantly recognizable by that very blue long mane over her shoulders. Tune in tomorrow when we get the end of this race. I'm kidding, of course. And right up into third now, Lisa Eckstein. That German program with Anna Seidel not competing this season. A 25-year-old from Dresden. She was really Germany's only medal winner last season, but she's opting not to skate this year. So that German program is looking for someone who can step up and be a leader, someone who can take that program forward. Seidel really represented that program well. And Kim now, the Korean-born skater from Australia, goes to the front in what is really a chess match of a race here. Everybody seemingly taking their pull on the front. I guess when there's one place on the line, you're not racing for time if you're not the winner. Makes everything a lot more important. Majewska. Now we get some tempo. Inside 6 laps to go. It's Dubrova of Ukraine on the front. And Van Kerkhoff, who was a little bit off the back, deciding to close things up right now. Eckstein taking her attempt at the front. And Kerkhoff, the experienced one. And down goes Eckstein. I think that's on her own. And it is Dubrova under a challenge from Majewska. Now Van Kerkhoff decides to go with just a few laps to go into the final 2. And she goes all the way to the front. And now she turns it on. Yara Van Kerkhoff on course for a spot in the semifinals this afternoon. I don't think anyone is going to catch her now. And Van Kerkhoff, you watch her that entire race, playing it cagey, waiting for her moment, letting people battle in front of her, and then deciding now is the time. And there is a review underway, and we will see what happens there. It was a very cerebral beginning to the race. And then the battles came. They unfolded in front of Yara Van Kerkhoff. She let them happen, and then she just decided on her own she would take the race by the scruff of the neck and coast on into the semifinals later on this afternoon. Second heat skaters are already on the ice, just waiting for confirmation that the race we saw finish is indeed how it finished. We'll get to the starting line. Looks like there is a patchwork going on quickly. That's going to be a bit of a delay. There it is, Van Kerkhoff moving on as heat winner in the Repechage semifinal. And now that means the second heat included Svetlana Repechage of Ukraine, Kyu Chunwoo of China, Moemi Kikuchi of Japan, Didi Van Oerschaut of the Netherlands, Saraluka Beksky of Hungary, and Aliana Volkovitskaya of Kazakhstan. They haven't brought out the... There it is, right there. I'm always watching for the fire extinguisher. Give it a blast to quickly freeze. Athletes are saying it's pretty quick ice in Korea. Obviously, you don't want any ruts to mess with someone's race when they least expect it, through no fault of their own. Volkovitskaya. And you see, I was talking about the jackets. There it is on Didi Van Oerschaut. She might be the one I watch in this one.
to start. Royalty.
And they are off. And skate blades echoing around the Mokdong ice rink. Q is 27 years old. Member of China's Olympic gold medal winning mixed relay team from 2022. All of her major international competition, world championships alike, tend to be in the relay. Member of a women's world championship relay team at the both junior and senior levels. Petska's right there, 19-year-old from Kharkiv. Ukraine's another one of those teams that has plenty of young skaters trying to represent their country well through trying times, to say the least. Now here comes the pace. It is Didi Van Oorschot jumping up. I remember one of the events in Montreal. This is normally how you see a 1500 meter go. Slow start, picking up the pace as it goes. One skater decided he wanted to go on a long range attack and very nearly pulled it off, and I really appreciated the effort. Trying something different. It is always, of course, the danger in these longer races that you burn those matches early and you just have nothing in the tank at the end. It's Volkovitskaya and Repechage 1-2 right now. And down to the 6 laps to go mark. They are pretty strung out. It does mean the pace is quickening when they're not terribly bunched up. Van Oorschot closing in third. Looking around the outside, not able to get around Repechage. At least not yet. She dives into the inside. That time she makes it stick. Eyeing the lead now. Remember, only one place moves into the semifinals this afternoon. Repechage and Volkovitskaya. 1-2 at the moment. Now Van Oorschot makes the move stick, and is that going to be the decisive move into the final lap? Kyu Chun-yu is also trying to get up there, as is Sarah Lara Baksky, but Didi Van Oorschot with a gap that is not going to be closed down, and 2 Dutch skaters moving on to the semifinals this afternoon. And Van Oorschot gets the Q next to her name. You'll see her later on this afternoon when they start to race for the medals. It'll be right into the semifinals for the women's 1500 meters. And right into the men's. There's the start list. Joshua Ka of New Zealand, Lucas Speckenhauser of Italy, Wesley Park, Marcus Howard of the United States, David Eos Kemper of Italy as well. and also Stefan Alexander Kumurjev of Bulgaria.
Go to the start. Right.
And off the line, it is Ka, the Australian-born skater. And here comes something we don't often see. It is Kumurjev saying, "Let's go." Love it. I absolutely love when the skaters do this. Kumurjev just throwing the usual tactic book out the window for the 1500 meters. No real response from the field. It's about a half a lap right now. Stefan Alexander Kumurjev just throwing caution to the wind, and you have to appreciate the effort. Down to 8 laps. Now you're going to really watch us ticking down. The young 18-year-old from Sofia says what he likes about this sport is the speed. Well, that's what he's going for a race that tends to have a bit of a slow start. And each lap that ticks down, you start to believe a little bit more, but that is a very tired face. And there is down to 5 laps to go. And I'm sure how much longer he can hold it. But kudos to you, sir, for the effort. It's a matter of time now as they are queuing up behind him to make the move. And it's the two Italians, Oss, Kemper, and Speckenhauser at the front. Now, friends become rivals as the two Italians are battling for one spot. Park making a move up the inside into second. It's Speckenhauser in front at the moment. Another one of the young skaters, early 20s for Italy as they eye the next Olympic Games. Speckenhauser in front. Howard, I don't think is going to catch him. The gap is too big, and Luca Speckenhauser sailing into the semifinal later on this afternoon. No incidents between skaters, but there was the ambition of Kumurjev, who he got tired of that and just came up a few laps short. But the effort is certainly appreciated. It will be Luca Speckenhauser. Those matching red, white, green Italian helmets. There you have it. Speckenhauser ahead of Howard and Ka. Just the one spot. Moving on to this afternoon. Heat number 2 also has 6 skaters. Dan Iwasa of Japan. Tsai Chiaowei of Chinese Taipei. Zdenek Saipal of the Czech Republic. Su Junpeng, Chinese Taipei. Jungsun Wu of Korea. And Peter Riches of Great Britain. Watch out for Jung. He is starting in position 5 there. Second from the left on your screen. Jung's bronze medal was in 1,000. two skaters from Chinese Taipei working as a team out front. Seoul right behind him. No one's going to go on the long-range attack this time, it would seem. So we'll follow the more traditional way of skating 1,500-meter races. We will pick things up as we go along, and I have a feeling the race will really pick up when Jang Sun-woo decides to pick it up himself. However, Dan Iwasa of Japan deciding to move to the front. And now Jung goes. You hear the fans roar. Any skater on the ice would have heard that and knew who was coming, and he did it before. Jung goes to the front and dares, cajoles, encourages others to try to pass him. No one has been able to just yet. But Iwasa certainly is an experienced skater. '28-year-old Iwasa sitting right behind the young Jang Sun-woo of Korea. Down to the final few laps still. Nobody's been able to mount a challenge to the front. Down to 3 laps. If anyone could, it is Iwasa, but he's just lost contact. And Jang, copy and paste tactics from the last race. Decide when you want to get to the front. Decide when you want to turn on the afterburners. And decide when you want to win this race for good. And Jang Sun-woo does just that into the semifinals this afternoon. Iwasa first tried to go, and then that man right there says, "My turn. Good luck, everybody else." And nobody was able to match it comfortably as you like. Those 1500s could really take a lot out of you, but all told, Jung has been pretty comfortable through those. Doesn't look like he's spent too much of his energy, and could be fresh and ready to go later on this afternoon. Results, Jang Sun-woo, confirmation, moving on. About a second ahead of Zdeněk Seoul of the Czech Republic. Those races are in the books. That just means we have 2 races to go today. They are the B finals of the men's and women's relay. You see the boards are open at the end of the rink. That means the ice resurfacing machine will be coming right back out. So that means a bit of a pause. We'll wait for the graphic to come up to say how long you have. You have about 14 minutes. Short Track Speed Skating World Cup will continue. The gate is open. The skaters are about ready to come out for the women's 3,000 meter B final here at the Mukdong Ice Rink in Seoul, Korea Republic. The A final will be part of the World Cup program later on this afternoon. And so 4 teams are in the B final. The men's B final right after this has 2 teams. That was after Belgium was advanced yesterday, and there was a penalization in one of the semifinals. But for this race here, 4 teams. You see it: Italy, Hungary, Japan, and Poland. None of these sides have been to the World Cup podium this season. In the women's relay, it's been really Canada, the U.S., Netherlands, and South Korea. Poland has snuck up for once there as well. We'll look at Nicola Mazur. She will get things going for Poland. Going through the rosters, it is Sarah Lara Baksky, Zofia Kanya, Maya Dora Somodi, and Rebecca Shilice Nemeth for Hungary. For Italy, Chiara Betti, Elisa Confortola, Gloria Ioriatti, and Ariana Siegel. Japan has Ami Hirai, Mire Nakashima, Aoi Watanabe, and Rima Yamana. Poland has Ada Majewska, Nicola Mazur, Kamila Stormowska, and Gabriela Topolska. And at the moment, an exchange. Great example there of Italy seeing an opening on that exchange, and then a good push to get their teammate up into second, and it's Ioriatti up into second now for Italy. She gives way to Elisa Confortola. Poland eyeing a second place, getting it back. They're able to make it stick on the outside now. Not happy enough with second. Nicola Mazur trying to get to the lead. It sort of messes up their exchange there, and it costs them a position. But they're going to try again, although they've slotted in right at the back behind Japan. That's where the traffic comes into play, and you can have a bunch of strong individual skaters, but if you don't know how to navigate the extra skaters on the ice in those exchange zones, that's where things get complicated. Everybody safely through there. Still Hungary out in front. They've been leading since the very beginning. Elisa Confortola in again for Italy as they sit in second place. Ariana Siegel is one of the older skaters on the Italian side. She's 27, I believe. Anyway, late 20s. But a lot of these Italian skaters are in the 21, 22 to 24 range as they target those winter games coming up in just over 2 years' time. Milan Cortina. Still Hungary controlling this one. Poland starting to lose a little bit of contact now. They're doing exchanges on that alternate lap. They've sort of lost that a little bit. I think this is where they might get it around. Now they'll get everybody back on the same page as the group reforms up. A little half glance up the inside. Siegel taking a look. right into close quarters. Hungary and Italy. Very close into that turn. Everybody safely through, though. Repechage Nemeth about to give way for Hungary. And they miss an exchange there, and that gifts Italy an opportunity. And there you go. You get your exchanges right, and you do well. Hungary missed that opportunity a little bit there, and the opening was there. They're going to try to get it right back. Everybody's still up on their skates, though. Italy still in charge. There is the bell. 3 laps to go. Only one more exchange is allowed. And they'll all get it in with 2 laps to go. I believe it would be Arianna Siegel for Italy to finish things off. And with 1 lap to go, there is a gap that's now formed behind the front 2. It's going to be Italy or Hungary. One last gasp up the inside. No, they both go down. Famous last words. The commentator curse lives on. And just when you were thinking it was going to be Italy or Hungary, they both spill out on the last corner. That, of course, we'll get another look by our review panel as we start going through the highlights. There it was. Down goes Italy, down goes Hungary. Maya Dora Somodi for Hungary, and that was Arianna Siegel for Italy there. I think it's Italy who is being investigated here. Medals aren't on the line here, so the stakes aren't as high if this were an A final. But World Cup ranking points matter in every single race, and teams want to maximize what they earn, and so important in that regard. And there you have it. Italy gets the penalty. Poland gets the win. Japan second. Hungary in third. And that is the women's 3,000 meter B final. And now this will be interesting. Here is the ruling. An arm block on Italy. Siegel called for it. Right there. So it brought her down. And so this will be interesting. Men's 5,000 meter B final has 2 teams, Kazakhstan and Japan. The A final, in its traditional space, will wrap things up. Competition for the World Cup round later on this afternoon. And a head-to-head matchup. Speed, not really required right away. We'll go through Kazakhstan. Their roster: Adil Galiakhmatov, Gleb Ivchenko, Denis Nikisha, and Yerkebulan Shamukanov. Japan has Dan Iwasa, Yui Matsubayashi, Shuta Matsuzu, and Shomu Sasaki. There are only 2 teams, because Belgium was advanced to the A final during an incident in their semi yesterday. Hungary was penalized. I believe it was Hungary anyway. And so that means there are 2 teams. Kazakhstan has been on the World Cup podium this season. It was a bronze in Montreal weekend number 2. And Japan had a bronze in Montreal weekend number 1. Since then, though, in Beijing last weekend, neither side able to jump into the top 3. So each of these sides with a podium this season. Not going to be a case this time, as Nikisha, instantly recognizable, number 11 on the helmet. He gives way. Still, let's just call it a very cerebral beginning to this race. Head to head. Not a lot of urgency in those exchanges, but not sure they're going to be happy teammates after that, as the shove goes right into the back of the Kazakhstan skater. Everybody stayed on their feet, though, and it was not at high speeds, and so everybody safely through, continuing on. No harm, no foul. See how this one goes. Much better. Easy to get complacent a little bit at the stage where it's not terribly urgent. And that's when mistakes crop up. You witnessed one, but it was not one that cost anyone anything. 33 laps to go. Still a ways for these two sides. And we shall see when they decide to really kick it into another gear. Kazakhstan has been in front for the entire time. On the ice right now, it's Iwasa for Japan and Gleb Ivchenko for Kazakhstan. Picking things up just a little bit. The lap times, though, still nowhere near where we usually see them. 10.5, 11 seconds. You're not really setting any records on the ice there. It'll be interesting to see if someone tries to pull a surprise and shift when you least expect, or if it's going to be a slow build. Down below 11-second lap time now as Shemukhanov goes in for Kazakhstan to lead things around. A little bit faster for the second lap in a row, down to 25 laps to go. Now the focus is a little bit more there as the speeds inch higher lap by lap. It's a negligible margin, but it is faster nonetheless. Nikisha. Plenty of individual World Cup podiums for that man. And it's Yui Matsubayashi for Japan. Sitting right there in the slipstream as they slow back down a little bit again, closing in on 11 seconds a lap once again. Might be a moment. That shove had a little bit more intensity in it. Now they're below 10 seconds. I think the race is very much on. The game is afoot. Kazakhstan still in front. The lap times now consistently under 10 seconds. 16 laps to go. Japan still happy to just sit in the slipstream, biding time, playing the waiting game. Shota Matsuzu now. There is a little bit of a gap to close down, as they're now under 9 seconds a lap. And Japan gets right back up there. Will there be a moment that they decide to grab the race by the scruff of the neck? Not yet. Glebivchenko in for Kazakhstan. Coming up to 10 laps to go. Now they go. Now they're off. It's Nikisha putting the pedal to the metal. Really picking things up. It's still just a head-to-head battle. So we've seen Japan sitting in the behind so far. Now they have to try to make a move. Now they go. Can they make it stick? Kazakhstan taking it right back. Will Japan get another opportunity? That was their moment. They couldn't hang on to it with the exchange. Here comes another one. It's going to be shoulder to shoulder into the corner. Nope. Japan getting right in front. Iwasa. Nice work by him. Glebivchenko now suddenly finding himself chasing. The lap time's about 8.5 seconds a lap. 5 laps to go. Japan, can they keep Nikisha at bay? Here comes Denis Nikisha. Going to come up to hear the gun for one more exchange coming up. They'll do an exchange here, and they'll get one more to come. And on that exchange is Kazakhstan back in front. They saw the inside line, and they took it. Final exchange coming from both sides. Japan tries to return the favor. Not getting the opening this time, though. It is Shamukhanov for Kazakhstan. Matsuzu for Japan. There's the bell. Shamukhanov trying to hold him off. There is a bit of a gap, and it might just be enough to hand them the win in the B final. One last chance. Not going to do it. And it's Kazakhstan taking the B final ahead of Japan by just 0.07 of a second. Head to head. I said it would be interesting, and sure enough, it was quite a race as we really picked things up late on. Kazakhstan coming away as winners of the men's B final. The A final will wrap things up at the end of the World Cup portion of the competition later on this afternoon. There was the confusion early on. Nice bit of skill by Shota Matsuzu to stay up. And then they went back and forth. A good game from these two sides. Really using those exchanges to get into the openings and make the pass. In the end, Kazakhstan, just by the narrowest of margins, takes the B final. And that is going to wrap things up on Repechage morning from Seoul. There is the result. Kazakhstan and Japan medal races coming up this afternoon for the World Cup portion of the competition. Keep an eye out for the link if you are following on the ISU YouTube page. That's it for me. Until next time, my name is Gavin Day. Goodbye.